Welcome to a very special edition of the Dam Sports Show, streaming live on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, Daily Dodge TV, and of course the ESPN Wisconsin app, your place for your state, your teams, and your ESPN. We are live from Cottrill Field in New London, Wisconsin. Why? Because that is the site for the AA American Legion State Tournament, where Beaver Dam Post 146 White Construction is one of three teams entering today, still in the AA State Tournament bracket. We're going to talk about Jackson Churiel being out for about 2 to 4 weeks. That just came out a few minutes ago per our friends over at ESPN Milwaukee. What does that mean for the team at large? We're going to take a look at our Isaac Collins stock, someone who hasn't been getting nearly enough recognition on this Brewers team that's been red hot the last couple of months and now has the best record in baseball by a couple of games and is out in front in the NL Central by 3 games after Dansby Swanson forgot how to touch first base. Beaver Dam Post 146 White Construction State Championship preview. We will go through that. We'll take a look at Seymour. We'll take a look at Campbellsport, the team that's waiting in the wings at 8 o'clock to play the winner of this 5:30 contest that'll get going in just over an hour. And since it is Tuesday, we will fill in the damn blank. And somewhere in there, we're going to work in some interviews for Beaver Dam Post 146 White Construction. We've got Jeff Eberle on our right here. We'll get his insight, someone who's put blood, sweat, and tears into this program and into the beautiful Beaver Dam baseball field that you've seen on our Daily Dodge TV streams from time to time. This is an awesome field, too. I'm looking out. Wally, it's 470 to dead center. You just don't see that anywhere.
You'd have to run into one here. So we've been joking about it this last week. But you can see Jeffrey Freund out there in center field, and he's looking at 280 when he's standing out there. He's still got 200 feet behind him.
Yeah, I mean, the dimensions here are crazy. If you pull one and you're a righty, it's 355 to the left field foul pole. If you pull one and you're a lefty, it's 310. That's probably the most obtainable spot. And then I don't even know if you're watching on Daily Dodge TV. If you aren't, I highly suggest you do. If you are, it's like a cobblestone pattern all the way around. You roll in here, and you brought up the perfect comparison a couple of days ago. It's like a castle. You pull in, and the first thing you see in the parking lot is the press box area, the dugouts, and this basically stone wall around the perimeter of the entire field.
Oh, and then we also have the wonderful Wade Bates on videography. So if you are watching right now,
pretty big luxury today.
I'm no Aiden Voigt.
well, I was going to say, he might not be Aiden Voigt, but he's going to do admirably in sitting in. But you're right, Corey. This is like taking a step back in time. Field's almost 100 years old, and it feels just like the perfect place to crown a state champion tonight. And like Ernie Banks said, let's play 2 today. We don't want to see just one game. We want a second game. So make sure you stick along with us on 1430 ESPN. At the end of the Damn Sports Show, we're going right into Legion coverage, and hopefully for about 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, hopefully a doubleheader. Again, it's going to be Campbellsport waiting in the wings. That game, the winner of Beaver Dam and Seymour, they'll take on Campbellsport at 8 p.m. approximately. You're kind of at the mercy of the first game, so we'll keep an eye on that there. But we will have your preview for you. 3 of these 11 spots are gone already, and we've only been doing this contest for under 24 hours. So I do want to put this out there for you now. Our wonderful producer back at 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Jack Wilski is waiting for you to call 920-887-9595 because it's that time of year again. Football season's right around the corner. On August 20th, Wednesday, August 20th, the Fantasy Football Draft is back at ESPN Wisconsin as we take over the Potawatomi Casino and Sportsbook for another exclusive event. Call to join Team ESPN Beaver Dam's Fantasy League and go head-to-head with myself and Wally as you draft your championship team. We're talking about things like free food, great prizes, and the full VIP experience, all for fans ages 21 and up. The next 8 callers this week are getting spots 4 through 11. They will be winners to win a spot in the ESPN Beaver Dam Fantasy Football League. If your name is announced after we communicate with you, you will have 45 or 48 hours, or just do it over the phone, to claim your spot at this exclusive event. 920-887-9595. You can call into the show with that number, but you also are going to want to call our producer, Jack Wilski, at 920-887-9595 for this special event on August 20th at Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Well, and we've even seen since we got here, we had several people. Legion families are already here, ready to celebrate a fun night, and people here are like, hey, tell me a little bit about this.
It's
I'm
a hot
interested.
ticket.
So you better be fast on that. I know we said 2 weeks is how long we have to fill this up. Very good chance you're going to be needing to get in this week if you want to do it. So make sure you're free. make sure you come say hey, and we're competing with and against each other in this. And again, all that good food. It's going to be a great event. I can't wait.
Yeah, I would not wait until next week. We'll just put it that way. It's a hot ticket right now, so 920-887-9595. We're just going to need your full name, your phone number, and email, and we will confirm all the essential details with you from there. We are brought to you by our friends over in Real Sports Cards in Waupun as well, and the Real Sports Cards app. Again, if you're watching on Daily Dodge TV, the wonderful Wade Bates just gave you a really good look at the outfield fencing. What's the comp to this? Like, Polo Grounds is the first one that comes to mind, but is there anything else that when you look out here in New London, Wisconsin, you go, that reminds me of this?
The closest thing, Wade says the longest yard. For me, it reminds me a little bit of the brick that you have at Wrigley. So there's that, because you do have cobblestone. How often do you see a cobblestone field? And, again, this goes back nearly 100 years, the FDR New Deal. And, again, very handmade, meticulous. It went into this, and you feel it right now. Corey, I don't know if there is a comp to this. You just look around. This is just a very one-of-a-kind stadium. And, again, it feels like the perfect place to crown a state champion today.
Yeah, it feels like we stepped back into time a little bit. Full transparency. I've been saying cobblestone because it's like the most, I don't know. I used to play Minecraft. It's the most comparable thing I can say. I cannot confirm this is cobblestone.
Hey,
it looks like it.
If you say that like you just did with that confidence, I 100%. I'm like, oh yeah, it's cobblestone for sure. It's no doubt.
If you're watching on Daily Dodge TV, on the right part of the frame, you've got Beaver Dam warming up in the batting cages. They're going up against Seymour, and Seymour is not far from here. For Beaver Dam Post 146, it's about an hour 15 trek. That's what we made to get up here, but. Let me tell you, it is 100% worth it. When you look at just how well this field has been taken care of, they got the nice decal down on the grass behind home plate. Lines are chalked. Get numbers all over the outfield. And, again, it's the stone, old-school-looking outfield fence with 470 in dead center, and then you got the tree line behind it. You can't paint a better picture than this.
No, you're looking at right field. This is going to be Moose and Jarek West over the Wild Thing territory today. If anybody's going to be able to put one out or get one to the wall, it's going to be one of those guys, these big left-handed bats. Shallower to right. It's not shallow because it gets steep to 354 very quickly. But if you go right down the line, you get it right around that Beaver Dam diamond, the dimensions there, but it's the only spot you can really say that.
I kind of wanted to take the time, too. Like, you and Wade have described this to me. This is my first time up here this week, this state tournament run. To hit the ball out of play in any juncture, it's tough. Like, typically, I don't know, foul ball play off the chalk, maybe you get like 25, 30, 35, 40 feet. If you sky one, unless you hit it directly over home plate and backwards, there's a pretty good chance defenders get a shot at almost every ball hit off the bat. I'm sure there's going to be a couple that go into the parking lot, but even hitting one out of play, you really have to get a hold of it.
You got probably 60 feet to the third base side until you get to the wall, and you probably have close to 90 to 100 feet on the first base side. I mean, if it goes up in the air here, it's really hard to get out of play unless you're going right behind the plate. We saw a couple great plays down the line in foul territory. It's one of the cool things. I know the Oakland Athletics are no longer the Oakland Athletics, but when you remember looking at that stadium, very similar foul ground where if it's hit, there's a very good chance that it's going to stay in the yard.
Yeah, and that's kind of the vibe you're getting here. So, again, you are going to want to make sure you're tuning into 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. Starting at 5:15. You can honestly just stay with us because we're already here in New London, Wisconsin, but it's going to turn into the official pregame show for hopefully one of two games for Beaver Dam Post 146 White Construction starting at 5:15 p.m. again on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. They'll play Seymour. Before we get to Jackson Churio, some news came out just on him a little bit ago. Playing Seymour. It feels kind of like a full circle moment because that's the first team that Beaver Dam played to start this tournament off, and not to take too much out of the pregame show that we'll end up having. But Seymour gave him a little scare there. Still got out alive, and now you get a rematch from it.
You do, and all of a sudden a game that didn't feel so close was very, very much down to the final pitch of the game when they played on Friday. We were at the darts disaster and actually paused it for 15 minutes so that we could follow along the last inning. And it was 6-1 entering that frame. It ended up 6-5, bases juiced, 2 outs. They actually had a 3-1 count. A ball ties the game, and luckily they were able to get that final out. Did them favors to play in that winner's bracket and not have to go the difficult hard route. Seymour, on the other hand, they remember that game. They want to get that payback, so to speak, against Beaver Dam. It's important to stay focused. If you got to play two, you got to play 2 complete games today.
And that's also the reason Seymour is here right now. They had their backs against the wall from the beginning. They've rattled off 3 straight wins since then. They've scored at least 5 runs in each of those games, and now they clash. They've been on a collision course with a Beaver Dam team that put their backs against the wall from the very beginning of the state tournament. Want to talk Jackson Churio just for a little bit. Report came out in about the last 30 minutes to an hour now that he will be out for 2 to 4 weeks. That's the timetable we got. I mean, we'll talk Isaac Collins in a little bit as well, because it does feel like everywhere you look around this roster, a new member of this Milwaukee Brewers team steps up to the plate, for lack of a better phrase. Jackson Churio is your five-tool player. He's somebody that this front office had so much confidence in. They locked him down on an $80+ million contract before he stepped foot on American Family Field. I guess we can start with this. What are the Brewers missing with him if he does miss up to that full 4-week span?
You're missing that pop in the bat. You're missing that energy that he provides, somebody that even last year was a spark plug to the team. He's part of the identity of this group, and I know there hasn't been a lot of negative said, besides maybe Steve the Homer True right after us from 5 to 6 telling you, hey, he doesn't walk enough. But if you move beyond that, he's one of the heart and soul guys of this team. Missing him for 2 to 4 weeks in a very fierce division battle. Yeah, you're up 3 games on the Cubs right now, but we got to see even right before the All-Star break and during that Brewer stretch how quickly that can change. Cubs are a great baseball team in their own right, and when you're missing The Miz for 15 days, when you're missing Jackson Churio for a good chunk of August, if not all of it, and that's a big loss to try to overcome.
Sal Frelick just came back. It is I mean, if you want to make the argument right, if you're going to have some bumps and bruises, now's the time to have it. You want to make sure all the guys on that active roster as it changes towards the postseason are completely healthy. But it's one of those interesting scenarios where not only is Milwaukee competing for the best record in baseball, but the same team they've kind of been hand-fighting, sparring with for the past couple of weeks with it, is the team that they're fighting for in their own division. So if the Cubs were to sneak up on them, not only do you lose the 1 spot, but you lose the 2 spot and a 3 spot in the NL as well. So some added pressure there for sure. But yeah, Jackson Churio out 2 to 4 weeks. I know Christian Yelich has come back from injury the last couple of years and is having one of the better years of his career, but no Jackson Churio for the next 2 to 4 weeks. That's going to be a reality we're going to have to adjust to, but before you know it, Miz will be back, Churio will be back. This team will be back at full strength, hopefully still red hot with about 50 games to go. When we return, Isaac Collins is the one who's been taking headlines this past week. You could argue this past month. He was named NL Rookie of the Month for the month of July. Is he Rookie of the Year caliber? We tell you on the other end of the break here on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV.
Like, would you hear it on the computer one too?
Oh, I literally have to. I see what you're saying. All right, we're good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And we welcome you back to the Damn Sports Show with a very important message about our friends over at Real Sports Cards.
Yeah, if you're looking for a one-stop shop for all things sports cards, head over to Real Sports Cards in Waupun or check out their app. Whether you're into sports cards or Pokemon cards, Real Sports Cards has you covered. With live break streaming right on the app, you can grab individual cards on the go, be a part of a group, and watch for your favorite players and teams as packs get open. Go to the Apple or Google Play Store today. You'll look for that orange logo and take your collection to the next level with Real Sports Cards, your local resource for all things sports cards, Pokemon cards, and more.
They've got a very fun team over there. Tom's an amazing guy. I know he had a lot of fun at Rosemont for a national cards convention that included superstars like Tom Brady, one Brian Urlacher. He brought the whole family out there, and they seem to have a blast as well. The Brewers are having a blast. They've got the best record in baseball. Why would they not be having a blast? And it feels like for the last month and a half, 2 months, every player has had a week, or 2 weeks, or 3 weeks if you're Jacob Mizorowski, where the focus channels over to them. Because if you look at this team top to bottom, there is not a clear-cut, runaway favorite to be their leader. And that's not a bad thing. They're extremely well-rounded. We've had the Caleb Durbin week. We've had the Jackson Churio second half of last season. We had Brandon Woodruff's comeback. We had Jacob Mizorowski's electric debut and the starts to follow. This past week, Wally, it's been Isaac Collins. Not only did he get named the NL Rookie of the Month for July, but he was hitting the tar out of the ball. He was hitting .321, had 2 long balls, 11 RBI over 23 games at one point, OPS around .850, started to bring some power out. And yesterday, after another great story, by the way, I forgot his name, Quinn Priester gave up a solo shot on the first pitch of the game against the Braves. It was Isaac Collins' 3-run shot to put the Brewers home.
And so far, we've been, to your point, we've seen almost like every time where you need a new guy to step up, the Brewers have had it. And Isaac Collins, I think he's someone that a lot of guys, when you're 5'8" in Major League Baseball, I almost feel like people look for excuses to why you can't play. So it almost takes being even at another level to secure your spot in MLB. And what he's done this year, especially over the last couple weeks where he's got white hot, he's really cemented himself as being a part of not only being on the roster, but as being a huge fabric in what this team does. And he's been great in the field, too. So it's not even like you're just looking at one-sided players here where he's a liability out there. He's done it in both respects. And when you get that kind of contributions out of all these rookies, I mean, I'm going down right now, Corey. I know that you and I have been talking about Rookie of the Year odds. Could he be somebody that pops in at some point and be someone that could actually win or compete for that award? Amazingly enough, as of 18 hours ago, Fox Sports has it where he has 3 teammates that are higher than him on the list. I think that's a testament to how deep this team is right now and how young they are.
So, yeah, you hit on the 2 important ones, right? It's guys who don't have a whole lot of Major League Baseball experience who are just stepping up and producing for Pat Murphy. They're playing a different brand of baseball. Even though this team didn't go out and get that crazy, powerful bat against the Chicago Cubs, one of the best offenses in the league going into that series, what did Milwaukee do but rely on the home run ball? They showed that part of their arsenal. Isaac Collins is such a cool story. I do think he does have an outside shot at NL Rookie of the Year. If he keeps this up, I think he'll crack the top 5, even top 3. maybe top 3 on his own team because he's got so much competition in his own clubhouse. But as things stand, 281 batting average, 7 home runs, 35 RBI. But I'll tell you this, he's already won. And I'll say that because there are a lot of people in the spot that Isaac Collins was in heading into this season that would not even have a job right now. He was a Rule 5 draft pick, and I know that's a little inside baseball, so I'll just straight up define it. A Rule 5 draft pick, it's a player selected by an MLB club from another team's non-40-man roster. Someone else is toiling around in minor league baseball for another organization, and to be eligible, the player must not be on their major leagues organization's 40-man roster, and they have to meet certain age and experience criteria. We won't get too into the weeds with that. Point being is this. Isaac Collins qualified as that. So in the Rule 5 draft, where teams are essentially picking from other programs' minor league talent pools, Isaac Collins was picked by the Brewers. That is why this 27-year-old rookie is one of the breakout players in baseball this year. And the fun thing about this is at first he was just playing for a job. Now I think Isaac Collins has reached the point. He's hitting above 280. He's red hot. He's got the Rookie of the Month moniker. I think he's reached the point where he's no longer playing for his job, but he's playing for a contract. And because of that, I think he's already won.
It's a really cool story. He just turned 28 to end July. So you're talking about a guy like that. Again, guys that are 5'8", they don't make it in the league. I jumped back to when I was growing up, and you remember guys like David Eckstein, where he had to literally hit the tar off the baseball to earn a spot because people look for excuses not to have you on rosters when you are that size. And he's had it. He's actually defensive. He's saved 15 defensive runs, or 10. Sorry, excuse me. So he's been somebody who's actually been good in the field too. Not a liability there. And right now, with what the diamonds in the rough that this organization can find, if they're trading with you or if they're drafting somebody in the Rule 5 draft off your team, you got to be almost looking in a mirror and be like, oh no, what didn't we see in this guy?
Yeah, it's one of those where the Brewers just start like unearthing talent, right? Brandon Lockridge, very small sample size, but going into this series, going into the last series, in the middle of the last series against the Nationals, Eugenio Suarez was 1 for 13. That was the big bat of the deadline, again, small sample size. And good old Brandon Lockridge was 3 for 11 with a couple ribbies, a couple runs scored, just plugging along. Had a multi-hit performance right away for a team that's been scoring 10-plus runs more routinely than they have in the past. It's something about the scouting department. You almost have to look everywhere because it can't come from one spot. It's not a coincidence. The fact that Quinn Priester's coming over, putting up career numbers, the fact that a Division III talent in Caleb Durbin has come up in the Nestor Cortez trade and has been performing the way he is. The fact a guy who literally was not on a Major League Baseball roster is now hitting 280. At some point, Andrew Vaughn. I mean, you could literally look all the way around this team. At some point, it stops being a coincidence. It's a testament to the scouting. It's a testament to the coaching. It's a testament to Matt Arnold. Caleb Durbin's literally another one. You just look around this entire team and see, how they're able to bring the true best out of a player, and clearly not every ball club is able to do that.
There's something to be said. We know the term culture is way overused in sports, but under the umbrella of those things you talked about, whether it be coaching, scouting, whatever, it goes into the culture of what the Brewers have established too. It's got a fan base right now that I don't think has those irresponsible expectations that a lot of big market teams do. So even though they are constantly playing in the NL Central races, they're constantly getting into the playoffs, it's not a place that's going to turn on you if you have a couple bad weeks. And then it feels like that you could say the same about the staff. They're trying to give these guys every opportunity to go out there and make a difference. What the Brewers have been able to establish over the last 10, 15 years, it's something that every small market in the major leagues looks to attain, looks to try to duplicate, and nobody's really able to do it. It's like a year here, and then they fall off. What the Brewers do, it's year in and year out. There's a reason at the start of the season, you, myself, Hunter Vaughn, whoever we wanted to talk to, we started looking at that total win-loss. We were like, why is it so low again? That's just not possible with what the Brewers do year in and year out.
And not much changes. They'll lose the occasional star, but then they're calling up top prospects. I mean, outside of Willy Adames was a big loss, and that was actually the reason I thought this team might regress more towards the projected win total. But everything else, they're getting their rotation back. They knew they were getting Woody back. I don't think anyone realized what Miz was going to be when he debuted. We knew there was potential there. But I just think this team does stuff that when you are not in a spot where you can just throw $500 million at Juan Soto or Shohei Ohtani, you actually have to focus on player development, and I think that's just something the Brewers do so well at. I want to look back to the Nestor Cortez trade. He is now gone. Did not have a very eventful, it was pretty eventful, just not in a good way. Didn't have a very positive experience with the Brewers from a performance standpoint. Went up and played against his old team in the Yankees and got blasted all over the ballpark, right? In this trade, the Brewers got Nestor Cortez. They gave up Devin Williams. We remember the heartbreak against the Mets. Williams is not having a good year. Cortez did not have a good year and didn't play much for the Brewers. I'm almost ready to call that basically a wash. The other aspect in that the Brewers got with Nestor Cortez was Caleb Durbin. He's the reason they won that trade. Otherwise, both teams are walking away from this going, well, you took my hot mess and I took your hot mess. But the Brewers got this speedy prospect out of the Yankees organization and turned him into a remarkable Major League Baseball player.
And we started to almost with the Durbin excursion, whatever you want to call this, the Durbin experience. We almost were laughing at it at first because we knew he wasn't the main focus of the trade.
It's another shorter guy, too.
Another shorter guy, and it's just a guy that when it initially happened, it was, well, that could be a fun piece. Well, you know what, that adds to what you're getting in Nestor Cortez. Now it turns into, you get Caleb Durbin, another guy that's competing right now. He's high up on those Rookie of the Year numbers. You're starting to believe that this isn't just sustainable. This is just who the dude is at this point.
I mean, closers come and go. Nestor Cortez is having a pretty lengthy career so far. But if that does end up being a wash and Caleb Durbin is the essentially centerpiece of this trade going forward, the reason the Brewers won it, I mean, look no further than this team to find out how you develop talent and how you really enrich everybody that goes into your clubhouse. Do want to shout out the fantasy football, ESPN Wisconsin fantasy football contest one more time. We had another spot go already. 4 down out of 11. So 7 spots remaining for the ESPN Wisconsin Fantasy Football Draft. You can compete against me and Wally. You're on ESPN Beaver Dam's league, but that also means as a league, we are competing against Steve the Homer True. We are competing against Jason Wilde and Mark Tauscher of Wilde and Tausch, weekdays from 9 to noon on ESPN Beaver Dam. Homer from 5 to 6. We are competing against Jim, Matt, and Molly over there at ESPN Madison. Matt Hamilton is an Olympic curler. So you got some high-profile names that not only are you competing against when you look down at your phone and realize, oh, okay, on the screen, I'm 2 games up on them. No, you get to go meet them. Like, we're all going to be at Potawatomi Sportsbook together on August 20th, and all you have to do is call this number, 920-887-9595. We'll get your first name, your last name, your phone number, and your email. I cannot stress enough how cool of an opportunity that's going to be.
It's going to be a blast. I mean, even getting to see these guys for ourselves. I mean, where they're our teammates and all, but because we're working throughout the own day ourselves, we don't get to see a lot of them. So we get to connect too. So I'm fired up to be able to talk a little smack, have a little fun, see some weird strategies from people that we hold in very high regard. Maybe that changes our perspective. We're going to have to figure out Damn Sports Show to the moon right here. We're winning this thing.
Yeah, that is objective number one now. We're going to admire and respect our peers and our teammates, but we also got to take them down in fantasy football. So, again, you can join us if you call us in at 920-887-9595. 5-block show today. 5 segments. We're going until about 5:10. We're going to use block number 3 to interview the one, the only Jeff Eberly ahead of Beaver Dam and Seymour's 5:30 matchup. The winner goes to the state title game in the AA bracket for American Legion Baseball here in New London. That's on the other end of the break here on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV.
On several, so now you get to actually do it. Where should I move to have him set up?
Give him my headset, right?
Yeah, well, absolutely. I didn't know if we want to put him like right here between us.
Oh yeah, maybe.
We can go in the middle. Let's scoot this guy over a little more. I'm covering like all of it.
Oh, sure. Wait. Which direction?
I overcompensated. Yeah, I'm covering like all of it, so we can go like this a little bit. There we go.
All right.
It won't matter much this next block, but beyond that.
Would you go up and please put that fire out in Canada, please?
You're trying.
He was telling me his story when he was stationed out in California. And they had to help put out forest fires out there when he was in the service. I said, what? Yeah. Awesome.
Well, let's make the magic happen, Jeff.
All right, we'll get you in here.
You got it.
Have you go right between us.
I can do that, fellas.
You got it? You're the
Yes,
man.
I got it.
Here, let me grab this for you. I'll get you set up.
You
There's
got
that for you. And he is going to be here, so I'll make sure he's local there. He doesn't need return, right?
Nope.
Okay. Let me make sure his audio is up, though.
Don't pull any cords out.
Yes, sir.
You lost them. You lost the headset now.
I did.
Okay. Put that there. And then I'll keep an eye, too, in case we need to adjust Jeff and turn him up or anything.
Sounds good.
Ooh, Jack just said we have
sorry
Big
about that.
Jim on the line, too. That's what, Bill Johnson?
Said we got Big Jim.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to slide him in real quick and
Yep.
then keep Jeff for 2 then?
We could do that.
That way we'll just steal you a little extra longer. I'll actually let you hear that, though, Jeff, so that you can also hear what I'm hearing.
Okay.
Oh, Corey, will that actually just come through local then? The
What's that?
phone calls, or do we need the return on to actually hear phone calls?
Return will have to be on for the phone call.
Okay,
yeah.
so we'll hear a little echo on ourselves for that.
You shouldn't have an echo. Oh, because he's got. What is Jack? What do they have pushed? Do they have audition pushed in or?
Oh, that's a good question because that'll impact whether it's local.
Because we had heard ourselves initially with the return on.
Okay, and then now it's. Oh yeah, that might be.
We've just been turning return off as we've been going into segments then.
That might. Yeah, full call. But it's supposed to have. If it's in audition, I think it's. She's got to take the phone or the Comrex out of audition.
Going to get all your cussing on film now, huh?
They warned me about that. Jeff, keep it clean as you can, okay? Thanks for working again up here again today. Thank you.
I do it I haven't missed a ball game so far.
The Dodge County Fair is running from August 13th through the 17th. They've got thrilling rides, delicious food, exciting entertainment, truly something for everyone. Free parking and grandstand with admission, midway rides, unlimited wristbands on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Friday from 1 to 5 p.m. or 6 to 10 p.m. Pig, duck, and goat races, Nick's Kids Show, the Ready Go Dog Show, incredible ag exhibits and shows, and so much more. You can grab those season tickets now for just $35, available at the fair office, Piggly Wiggly in Beaver Dam and Juneau, the market at Beaver Dam, Leroy Meats. Most Dodge County banks are online at DodgeCountyFairgrounds.com. We do have Big Jim on the line right now, 920-887-9595. It's been a little bit. How are you?
Oh, Big Jim, what are you doing to me? Uh-oh. I feel like I've said 0 before. I've done that both. I feel like you got to mix it up a little. Sometimes you throw a nothing at it. Sometimes you throw a 0. You got to just, you got to be, a little loosey-goosey. That might have to be a poll down the road. Okay. Yeah, felt that.
Honesty's the best policy.
I'd give you 90% because I do think that you occasionally have the people out there too. Because looking at it right now, Elgton Jenkins, he was holding in at first. Originally didn't look like he was even going to take part of camp. And he finally got talked into, hey, come on back. You're going to have to take a leap of faith with us that you're going to shift to a less lucrative position. But down the road, you can be a top 5 center. You got it's a little trust here. It's a little, hey, this offensive line is going to be one of the best in football if you're willing to take a chance. So I would agree with you in large part, but there is a contingency out there that I do think that the culture, winning, is still a huge part of it for him. But at the end of the day, it is a job for these guys.
Tom Brady comes
I was
to
going to
mind.
say, if there's
Yeah.
a supermodel wife involved, it kind of helps. It helps. Winning helps. Winning cures a lot of problems. Having the last name Manning helps too.
It's a good point. You've
Thank
given me
you,
a
as
lot
always,
to think
Big
about
Jim.
for this
As
the rest
always.
of this week. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Well, you left me speechless at the end there.
Yeah, well,
Calling
we're
the
gonna
unions
segue.
into it,
Oh,
yeah.
We brought up a lot of topics there. I think Jim just gave us enough polls for the next 2 weeks, which I can always appreciate as somebody in content and Good Karma Brands. We have Jeff Eberly in between us on the Daily Dodge TV YouTube screen now. Jeff, what don't you do? You're always taking care of the field. You're on the coaching staff. You care a ton about the guys who are going to take the field in about an hour, less than an hour here now. To this point, I just want to ask you, probably a loaded question, but what has this run so far meant to you as someone on this team?
Been here before many times. My wife and I have traveled with these young men. We've got a great program in Beaver Dam, and we're so proud of these guys all the time. And I don't have to worry about contracts.
That's true.
It's a good
You
point.
don't have to worry about Big Jim telling you that ain't going to
Nope.
work out for you.
Ain't gonna
No
happen.
cap space, none of that.
No, ain't gonna happen. These guys are out here playing by heart. This is what they do for their community, and their parents and their grandparents and family members. They all show up, and they support us all season long, from high school into now. And we're just going to try to see if we can bring one home here for Beaver Dam.
Yeah, let's play 2 today. And Jeff,
Let's play 2.
tell you what, I feel like we bring it up every time you're way too nice and you bring up a Gatorade or something to eat for us.
Oh,
and
my
I always
goodness.
say it.
I
but
owe you like $50, Jeff.
that's true, too.
My
we
tab
both.
is growing by the day.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. We're in his debt forever. But you look around, and your name, your family name, is really ingrained into the fabric of this program.
Thank you.
And what we see from like what you do on the field, what Sue does, and we'd be remiss not to talk about what Sue does. She puts a lot of effort into making sure that the environment, that concession stand, everything around Beaver Dam baseball runs as well and efficiently as possible. But it goes beyond that now. You're watching your own flesh and blood coach this team.
Yep.
I mean, that's got to be like its own reward too. You're so attached to the players, but
Yep.
you're watching your own kid coach the team. That's got to
Yep.
be unbelievable.
Yeah, Skyler has done a great job. We know he's got the coaching capabilities. That's why Nate Wilkie hired him for high school 4 or 5 years ago, and for coaching there. And I was able to tap into him for this year, and yeah, he's doing a great job. The kids enjoy playing for him. I don't hear any animosities of any kind on that team from top to bottom. It's everybody pulls on the same end of the rope for the same cause. We were here a year ago, And let's see if we can get a little bit further yet this year. That's been the goal all spring long.
Jeff, and I feel like Skyler deserves a lot of credit for playing the chess match he's had to play at state this year. This is game 5, so now
Yeah.
all of a sudden the pitching regulations through American Legion Baseball, you have to decide, when do I want so-and-so available for this game, if it even happens. Could you
That's
talk
right.
a little bit about just the mind games he has to play with this whole thing?
The former coaches, Terry Kiefer and Joel Loisel, they talk to me every day, a couple times a day about this stuff, and the same thing. This has changed so dramatically since even Joe retired. It's like now we have appearances. You get your 2 appearances in 3 days. The clock ticks from the first day. Thank goodness for some of that. But and then you've got your total pitch count. You get 105 pitches, and that's what you get to work with. And it's like, and you start doing that and going backwards and go like, okay, now we use these guys to pitch the other day. What have they got left here? But you've got to also, during the game, you got to say, okay, we got to keep him so he can have a 1-day rest with 45 pitches or less. 30 pitches or less, you don't need a day. But it counts as an appearance. So it's like, yeah, it's all a big mind game out there with that stuff, and that's what the American Legion, they did nationwide. They voted it in like that, and that's what we've got.
Well, we've been looking this year, and I think most of our listeners right here on the show hear how much we talk about not only the American Legion season, but the spring season as well. And this has been a really special group. But there's a lot of special groups that come through here, and everyone has their own identity from year to year.
Yeah.
How would you describe what this group is, whether that be just how hard they work, who they are as people? What stands out to you?
I guess the fact that I'm with them from January into August here like this all the time, every week and almost every other day. You can see different trends, and you're right. This team is known for a lot of speed on the bases. They can get it done. Not that we steal a lot of bases all the time, but they'll go from position to position and stretch it. Try to make the team, the defense, try to throw them out, and they throw the ball away a lot of times. And that's kind of how we've been doing all year long. And I enjoy this group very, very much. We're going to lose some, of course. But hey, we're going to just keep trying to rebuild. The feeder system down below is, it's solid. We've got some good kids down at the junior varsity level, and they're going to be coming up. And I know Coach Wilkie's excited about it for spring ball for high school. And this is the whole idea of American Legion baseball in the summer, is to keep the group together as much as you can. Let the seniors have their fun one last time here, and then also bring up the younger kids and get them into the games. Let them see that varsity pitching, because as you guys saw here all for how many days, this is good quality teams that come here and to these state tournaments. And it's like you're not going to see any better pitching than that. Of course, now being on the 4th or 5th day here, you're getting into the 6th and 7th pitcher slots, and everybody's got that. So it's more like who can come out and execute and put more runs on the board than the other team right now. It's not so much as pitching duels as it is the first round or two, the first couple days.
Be gritty.
We'll hit you with one more question here before we go to break, and then if we can steal you for another segment, that would be awesome,
That's
Jeff.
no problem.
Awesome stuff. So you brought up the senior class a little bit ago. I mean, some of these guys are going to college in a couple of weeks, and that's just a testament to how long you guys have been able to keep this great thing going into the state tournament. I don't want to play the names game because I will forget someone, so I'm not going to. But as you look into like left and left center field right now and watch these guys warm up for the last day of their Legion career, essentially, what thoughts are coming to mind right now?
It's bittersweet. I want them to go on and have a productive college or whatever they're going to go do. I want them to succeed very, very much so. I enjoy to this day, like even sitting here, got some of our alumni players that will come through and they will not miss me or Sue. They'll come over and give us a 5 or a hug. That's the kind of stuff that I like.
It's family.
And it's their family. And their family is our family. And we all have known each other for years, and they support us. And like I said, it's a community effort, this ball club, and it always has been. And we would like to keep it going like that, and so far, hopefully we can.
Well, we're super excited to see what happens against Seymour and then hopefully against Campbellsport right after. Seymour is a familiar team. It's kind of a full circle moment. So I'd like to talk a little bit about them and dive into this team a little bit more on the other end of the break, if that's all right, Jeff.
Sure.
Awesome stuff. We're going to take a quick break. This is the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV.
Jeff, you're
Jeff Eberly, Wally Lukashinsky, Corey Sparks here with you on the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, Daily Dodge TV, and the ESPN Wisconsin app. This is not our last segment. We're going through to 5:10. We'll shift over to pregame. First pitch will be around 5:30 between Beaver Dam and Seymour. We are talking to Jeff Eberly right now. We talked about the heart and soul of this team and what it means to you to see them get this far yet again, trying to get the job done today on Championship Tuesday. You got a really good look at this Seymour team to start the state tournament. They kind of came back in that last inning, but what is that like going through 3 baseball games since then, and then for this coaching staff and the players to rack their brains and kind of go back to Friday and remember what this team was like?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's kind of hard to do because we've played other teams that are very good baseball teams, and you kind of forget about it. You go like, oh yeah, we beat them, but it's when they come back through the bracket like we have to do too, they're going to be tough. And I mean, they showed us that they've got pitching depth, they got some hitting depth, and we just got to kind of play our best ball. We have to.
Well, when you play teams like this, runs are at a premium, and one way to manufacture runs, something that we've seen is an identity of Beaver Dam baseball in general, and that is the ability and willingness to play small ball.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about where that comes from? Because it's anybody on this team that seems to be able to lay one down if they need to.
Well, as you know, in professional sports baseball, it's kind of dying off, the small ball, if you want to call it that. Skylar has always believed in it. And Nate Wilkie does too at high school. Don't stop a team from picking up a ball and throwing it around. If they can't field and play a bunt, well, guess what?
Make them make a play.
Yeah, make them make a play because that's still a long throw, especially down the third base line up to first base when there's a guy running up there trying to get there. And it puts a little bit of panic in their soul. And it's like, use that. It's part of the game of baseball. It was invented to do that, and it's like, let's go with it. So, like I said, he in the off air here, he will bunt sometimes at the craziest times. You won't think he's going to do it, and he will. Then, of course, there's other times where the team knows it's coming. Seymour, the last game, a lot of the times their guys, they kept trying to guess that he was going to call it. They would play on the grass, and it was kind of comical a little bit. Looking at that, it's like, well, they think they're going to take the bunt away, and they do to a point, but he'll still lay one down. He'll have those guys lay one down, and in the beginning of the season, he just said right out to them, if you guys can't bunt, get in and learn how, because we are going to use it. If not, you're not going to play. If you're unwilling to do it, you're not going to play. Well, all of them bought onto it. They saw what happened. Here we are.
And it's one of those things, too, when you're bunting at the success level that they have, when you have guys playing closer in, then you're making it harder on them if you are swinging away, too.
That's right.
There's layers to what happens when you're able to be a well-executing, fundamentally sound baseball club.
That's right. That's right. And I'll tell you, like I said, bunting with kids that are willing to do it instead of taking – like the spotlight off of them. That's not much of a spotlight laying a bunt down. I mean, it's not real neat.
It's not sexy.
No, it's not sexy, if that's your word. That's right. But it's essential. And all the guys from top to bottom, they know how to do it here, and it can come out anytime.
Jeff, the team in the spring had a remarkable run, too. The seniors, top to bottom, sectional finals appearance yet again. Been on kind of a run of doing that the last 5-6 years, right? I know a lot of pitching is going, though. Like Jeff Royan's going to UW River Falls. Eli Bryant is going to Kent State. We know Ashton Seifert's really going to lead that rotation next year, but could you talk about the importance in Legion of kind of filling out those innings before that next spring rotation starts?
Yeah, that was the whole idea. We all, as a coaching staff, all talked and said, and we all agreed, like, hey, let's get the younger guys in. As you saw, not yet the younger age-wise, but yeah, Isaiah yesterday, we got him in and got him some quality time. He faced a quality team. And that's the kind of stuff that we have to go to build on now for the next couple of years. And it's important. And like I said, we all kind of agreed and talked about it. We're going to get these younger guys in, and that's what we're trying to do. And along with the seniors, like I said, let them have some fun. It's just the last time, their last hurrah, they're going to go through this. Mix it in with the younger guys, and let's hope the younger guys can do their stuff and get us advanced. And that's what they've done. They've helped.
Looking at this squad now, Legion Baseball, a lot of people around the country maybe aren't familiar with the importance of this summer season. And it's not just like added games for the sake of added games. These are meaningful games. Yes. What would a 7th state title mean to Beaver Dam and Legion Baseball?
It'd mean a lot. It's been a number of years. The last one I was involved with was both of them in 2013. So it's been a little while. We've made some nice noise at this. We fall a little short, and let's just hope that we can do it here tonight. But it means a lot, and the community supports us so well. As you guys know, you get the calls, and you hear it, you see it up at the stands. The community supports us very well because, hey, eventually, even if you're in Little League and you're 12 years old, in 3-4 years, here you are. They could be right here. And this is for all the marbles for high school baseball and Legion baseball. And it's pretty awesome. And we would be remiss not to thank, obviously, the veterans and the Legion posts around the state of
Well said.
Wisconsin. They do this. They put this on. This is not a big money-making deal. And without them, there is no ball. So it's like a summer ball like this. So we have to thank them all very much.
Yeah, that's where it all starts, right? So very well said with that. I love that you brought up the community, the stands. People have been piling in for the last 30, 40 minutes. This is an hour, 15-minute drive. Like, you really got to commit to go out and do this.
See a blue and red?
A lot of fans are coming out here. I want to focus on a couple players that have really been heating up the last couple of games. Brandon Morrissey ripped a triple the other day. He's got 2 extra base hits the last 3 games. What is it like seeing him, one of your senior leaders, go out there and just hit the tar off the ball?
We hope he can do it again tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I'm not going to mince words. I want him to do well. He is a powerful hitter, and I don't like when him and Jarek Westover look at that wall because it scares me. It's like, are you thinking you can hit one over that like all the time?
Like 310's the lowest number, Coach.
Exactly. Just leave it alone. If you get one, fine. Just leave it alone. Just hit a base hit out here, okay? We don't need that out there. I mean, we do, but they look at it like, oh, don't think that all the time, fellas, you know. But those two are our guys that are seniors that can hit a ball very hard to the left and very far. So, again, if it comes, it comes. But always just concentrate to hit the ball someplace hard, and they do it. And Brandon's going to go, I believe he's going up to, where's he going?
Stevens Point.
Yeah, he's going up to Point, doesn't he?
Yeah, he'll be playing football there.
Yep, he's going to be doing football there. And Zach Shave is going up to Oshkosh.
Yes.
He's going to play some ball. So, yeah, I mean, I just want these guys to succeed in whatever they do, and they just remember their roots back here. And most of them do. They come back to Beaver Dam, and like I said, they come and find me and Sue wherever we are at a ball game, and they'll sit with us and talk with us, and it means a lot.
Well, this is my last thing for you, Jeff, before we let you go. But you look around right now, and I see the parents, I see the kids, and we've fallen in love with following this team this year. It's such a great group with the chemistry, and you're a huge part of that. So we want to thank you for everything that you do. Appreciate you giving us about half an hour of your time right now, talking with us. And man, I tell you what, we need to play too, just because I'm not ready to say goodbye to this group right now.
I'm not either, and we can't thank the stations for doing this and Daily Dodge. It's just been awesome. You guys have covered us. We've never had coverage quite like this. It's been awesome, and we want to thank you from Post 146. We gave you a hearty thank you, okay?
Absolutely. Hey, this is a great Kumbaya circle right now, and I'm happy for it.
Thank you.
You can thank us again after the 7th state title.
Let's do it. Yeah, that's what we want to do. We'll
That's what
thank
we're
each
shooting
other
for,
here in
but,
about 5 hours.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about them coming out and trying. They're
Awesome
gonna try, guys. They really are.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Jeff. We appreciate all that you do for the community and for the station, and for, as Wally said, lending about half an hour to us here.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we'll have a lot of fun today. We are going to step aside for a couple of minutes on the other end of the 5 o'clock hour. We will kind of lead into the pregame show, but still technically about 7 or 8 more minutes of the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV.
Thanks, guys.
Should have been the power of love coming into the 5
Oh,
o'clock
that's a
hour.
good point.
Need Homer popping in with a best 60 minutes of your day.
Hopefully it's the best 4 or 5 hours of your day here today.
Let's make it 5 hours. We don't need this to be a 2.5-hour excursion and we're done. No, we're on the clock till 10.
No Jolly Rogers pizza for us tonight, right?
No, I want that place to be closed before we even think about it.
That's perfect.
What a perfect day, though, for state championships.
This is
awesome.
unbelievable. I mean, you look around right now, we have no wind. If there's anything, I'd almost take a little, but we couldn't have got lucky over the course of 5 days to have 5 days of sun, no rain. The field looks terrific. And, man, there's an energy right now in the air. A lot of nervous energy, a lot of excited energy, and, man, I'm ready to run through a wall.
That's one of those things you talk about, for a Legion tournament, they don't like to play more than 1 game a day for every team.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously you get to today and then it's different because you have to stack the 3 into 2. But a lot of times, if you get rain, all of a sudden you could be here, Thursday through Thursday.
Yeah.
And there's like football going on. There's all these things where that's a huge ask for a lot of these teams to throw a week and say, this is what we're doing, possibly traveling halfway across the state.
Beaver Dam football players, guys, the non-seniors, they were at football practice this morning from 8 until noon.
Full day.
Could you do that still, Corey?
Would I do that?
I said, could you do that
Could
still?
I do that?
Go from a 4-hour football
No,
practice to possibly 4 hours of baseball?
I couldn't do either of those, let alone 2 together.
Have you talked to Coach Lindy about going to football practice yet?
That would be something.
I started thinking about that. We're so creative with all these. I don't know how you even make football work because that's where I feel like we're going to get ourselves into what in our own company, they're going to be like, Wally, you can't go out there with full pads and start hitting literal children.
But you just say, I was an Arrowhead Warrior, and they'd be, okay, sir, I get it.
Yeah, Warhawk pride. I was going to say,
Warhawk,
let's go Hawks. It used to be the Warriors back in the day. I think they shifted in the 90s, I believe.
So I wasn't totally wrong there, was I?
I'm giving you, doesn't he get an A?
Yeah, that is completely fine. Wade, we do usually end Tuesdays with fill in the damn blank, and I wanted to just do one sentence here to kind of encapsulate the importance of today. You brought it up before and after you called yesterday's 5-0 shutout victory. Pitching at the Legion State Tournament is blank, and we'll do a round table here. Wally, I'll start with you. Just how much does pitching mean in terms of what it's going to impact for today's, hopefully, 2 contests?
Can you give me the actual line again? Because I tell you it means everything.
Pitching at the Legion State Tournament is blank.
It's win or go home. I mean, it's truly with what you get on the mound. I mean, you can start so behind the 8 ball if you don't have great pitching. And that's something you could say, whether it was spring or summer. The pitching for Beaver Dam has come to the plate, and it is answered every time the bell has been tolled.
There we go. Way to start us off. Yeah, pitching is blank, Wade.
I just going to say imperative because
Yeah.
you look at, that's a big word, isn't it?
Dude, I was going to say, you're going to kick me off the damn sports show.
Don't ask me to spell it, but the problem is because a lot of teams can be good with 2 pitchers. You ride 2 pitchers all year long the way that the season goes, and you have a great record, but you get to a thing like this, you have to have 4 or 5 because you can't ride 2 guys when you stack, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Skylar Eberle has been playing the pitching game here. You pull guys try to keep, some of your guys that have logged more innings, and then you hope guys like, an Isaiah Younger who hasn't thrown a lot can come in and get you innings. Jax Ladrin came in and got you some innings to get through a game, where in other games maybe you would have gone with, Jeff or a Westover for the entire 7.
Mm-hmm. Does it make it that much more impressive, the shutout yesterday, Wade, knowing, some of the arms were used. Some of these guys can't go back out there, and it was down to different parts, different pieces of the puzzle that Coach Eberle had to plug in, and they still shut out a team 4 games into the tournament.
No, Younger hadn't pitched in the tournament yet, in the state tournament. He came out, had his first inning, the 3rd, he came in, put a couple guys on base, then got a big out with the sacks full. Then he settled down the rest of the way, didn't give up any hits.
That's why you look back at the bullpen games like a month ago, and you start wondering because people were like, well, what are you doing? You're not throwing your big horses.
You're prepping
you did that for this.
Yeah, because they are going to show up. You're hoping you get deep enough into the state tournament that you bring those guys up that you were kind of bringing up a few weeks ago.
Well, to work through this one, pitchers on the staff that are here in the building right now, to obviously Jeff Freund, who has been your ace this year, he's not eligible, and Younger is not. Everybody else is there.
Okay.
Eli Johnson's there. Jarek Westover can both pitch as much as they want, and there you go. If you can ride those guys in the way you've been swinging the bat, you could be finishing up that stairway to heaven and talking about the grade 8.
Uh-oh. You got to get the rock goosebumps. They just took the field. Did you feel that?
Oh, yeah. I'm ready. Hopefully a doubleheader here. Wade, what's your favorite part of this ballpark? I feel like there's a lot to choose from.
I just like the classic feel of it. And walking in the first time you walk in, and you're like, this is legit. It's not a cookie cutter and brand new, modern stadium with the fence that it's 300 all the way around.
Yeah.
And it's it's 310 to one side, 355 the other. Hit a line drive off the outfield wall. It could go right, left, up, down. You don't know because it's not. Except we mentioned Corey. One of the guys that Aiden Kahneman, who plays for London, plays at Marion University.
Yeah.
He plays center field. Talking to him, he's run straight into this wall before.
Oh.
And he says that it's and obviously there's no give because there's nothing there. But
Didn't taste very good.
He says you can't practice like if you go to American Family Field.
Yeah.
You'll see the visiting outfielders, especially if they've never been here before. They'll hammer balls off the wall to see which way they ricochet. You can't do that here because it's just going to be you have no idea because it's not like they even put the landscape. Well, it looks like the landscaping on the walls that are the side look like they kind of put some mud in there or something to make them flat.
Yeah.
The ones in the outfield are not.
No.
You could hit it 100 times, and it would be different every time.
That's one of those where if you have someone with enough speed and that ball skips off the wall between a two-bagger, a three-bagger, and an inside the Parker, it's like your guess is as good as mine. That's crazy.
It's an unbelievable field. And you can feel that history here. We know that there's some great players that have gone through and played on this diamond too. And I know we've got some Beaver Dam legends that are going to be playing their last day of Beaver Dam organized baseball here today.
It's the last time that some of these kids will ever put on a legitimate jersey that says Beaver Dam.
That hurts. That hurts. It's a good thing because you play all year to play Championship Tuesday, but let's not lie. It's going to be hard to say goodbye to this group.
This was a special group.
Yeah.
With all sports in general, boys, girls side, the senior class has been great. And you're right. This is the last possible day that they could have possibly worn an official Beaver Dam jersey in anything.
Yeah.
And they did
because it's today. There's nothing after Legion baseball now. Jeff Freund's going to be at River Falls in a week and a half.
That's crazy.
You're going to have
yeah.
Moose is going to be at Point. Oshkosh Titan will be Zach Shave. It's
nice
unbelievable.
choice, Zach. Nice choice.
Hail Titans,
Cool.
right?
Yeah. A couple of WIAC guys. I mean, that's just a testament, right, Wade? Like, you're going to be on the call for football in a couple of weeks. We're a couple weeks out from the official start of fall sports in a broadcasting capacity. They've already started practicing. That's how far these guys have made it. There are seniors here who walked the stage 2 months ago that are still competing because this team went on such a deep run.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, last thing before we get going, I guess for Wade Bates, you would know. You've been around a little bit here for Legion baseball. You obviously ain't going to be celebrating with champagne. We got a lot of young, youthful kids here. Is that apple juice?
Apple juice. How about bubblers for everyone?
Bubblers for everybody? I was going to
Gatorade?
say, I want to find that out tonight. That's my goal, is I want us to figure out what you celebrate with.
The shower of choice.
Shower of choice, like orange pop, Fanta.
Fanta.
I do a Fanta.
I
Yeah,
do a
be
Fanta to
sticky.
celebrate.
Ooh.
We have to stop on the way home and get a Fanta if they win to celebrate.
It's going to be
I'll
a
do
sticky
that.
car. Do you think Sherry's going to be mad at us?
Yeah, there's the no
We'll just
nothing
walk
but
home.
water rule in the in the station vehicle that we drive here, right?
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Mom is the word, everybody listening at home.
Water it is. Yeah, it'll be our secret, all of us. Well, Wade, thank you very much. You're hanging around. We're flipping it over to the preview show after this break. This has been the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam and Daily Dodge TV. Post 146 Championship Tuesday coming up next.